What's the haps? I'm John, aka Meroka, and welcome to Spiel. We're in the Sapphire Sun Gate this week, which is, I believe, a gremlin one, although we are in a compound here, which is Ravenous Warrens, so there's going to be bunnies, so that's going to be fun, obviously. Everyone loves bunnies. Oh, got some wolves as well. The gate icon was orange, so I kind of figured there should be some gremlins in here somewhere, so I don't know. I would like to see some. I mean, I feel like there aren't enough gremlin gates in the Clockworks. Maybe it's just me, but I just feel like I keep seeing the same kind of gates over and over again. So it's kind of nice to see gremlins when I haven't seen any in some time, I feel. At any rate, that is where we are today. Let us do some Spiral Knights news. Yeah! Nope, here's our bunnies. So we had some... Oh, there's the gremlins as well. Sweet, I was right. Good. I like being right. Right is what I like. Yeah, well, we had some flash sales in the Supply Depot this week. They have now ended, actually, so it's not terribly relevant to you right here and now. So hopefully you grab them. There is a big document over on the forums, quite easy to find in the general discussion, that documents all the things that are on sale. There was some new stuff in there. There were a couple of purple snipes popped up for somewhere around, I think, 6,000 energy, which were totally new. As purple flying snipe and a purple lazy snipe. So, flying around and sitting around doing nothing, that you could put in your guild hall for a lot of money if you like decorating your guild hall with expensive things. And many people do. Can't say I personally see the point in it myself, but hey ho. Some people like to be fancy. I am less fancy. But there you go. There was also one new costume popped up for a rather exorbitant sum. There was the, what do they call it? The Gate Crasher Helm, which was available for 19,000 of your energies, which is quite a lot of your energies. It was a elephant-styled cosmetic, so it kind of got a trunk and tusks and whatnot, and it makes you look a little bit like an elephant, in case that is what you've been particularly craving for your knights. If you'd been thinking, man, I really, really wish my knight looked more like an elephant, that was the cosmetic for you. That was what you should have been going for a mere 19,000 energy. It's kind of a lot. As the usual big expensive ones as well. There was, well, they have the Zombie Bellhop and the Curious Mewcat and things that cost like 25,000 energy as well. So, one for the rich people. Obviously there's all the usual Supply Depot cosmetics, so there's probably a bunch of them doing the rounds as well now. If you go look for trades, people will likely have a lot more divines and shadows and prismatics and things if you want. So if you're in the market for a new costume piece or accessory or whatnot, there'll be a bunch more of them floating around. I imagine they will be sold at a markup, so your best bet would actually have been to have... Now, how do I do this? I need to do this, don't I? Yes, I imagine your best bet would presumably have been to have actually bought it from the Supply Depot itself, but hey ho, a little late for that now. So, oh, that was easy. I've gotten stabbed by those before. I was like, that's a kind of a complex mechanism to make that one work. So yeah, that's kind of the news. I imagine, because it's a Wednesday and we currently have no promos running, there would be something I would wager this evening, whether it be a promo or a update or something. If there's not, it would be one of the first times in a while we've just had, you know, vanilla game with nothing going on, so that would be a thing. So yeah, I would expect something to pop up. I don't know what yet, I cannot say. I don't work for Three Rings. Watch this space, I suppose, is all I can advise. Anyway, let us do some user-submitted questions and things. This is a thing we do on this series. I will take your questions in the comments and I will talk about them. We do have... a couple of other points before we actually get to those. They're all intertwined, sort of. Firstly, I would recommend also, if you did not catch it yesterday, and I know, judging by the views, many people did not catch it, I did a Strangelands video on the Minecraft server. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't really like the Minecraft stuff. Minecraft's getting a bit stale, getting a bit old. The video I produced yesterday alongside Fixer and Brian and Mod on the server is probably my favourite video I have ever made on this channel. So go watch that. It's goddamn hilarious. And then go watch everybody else's perspective, because it's also goddamn hilarious. It's such an elaborate setup. And yeah, you just need to go watch that. There's lots of work went into that, and I'm really proud of the outcome of that. So go and watch that. You will not regret it, I can assure you. It's fantastic. It is a masterpiece, if I do say so myself. And I would like to thank Brian for being a good sport, Fixer for co-conspiring with me, and Mod just for being Mod. So, yeah. Mod is also a guest on the Button Mash podcast this week, which you can find a link to in the description below if you want to go and listen to more ramblings between myself and my colleagues and Mod. So, that's a thing you can do as well. Also, what else we got? We got the Patreon campaign, which I've been kind of sort of half-heartedly pushing for every few weeks now. Probably indeed months now at this point. I have one donor, and I would like to thank my first donor, who is Alzarath, who is also from the Strangeland server. See, this is all kind of intertwined in a certain way, shape, or form. So thank you to Alzarath for being my first patron on the channel, and I suppose, does that functionally make him my boss? I guess it kind of in a way does. So, what are your orders, boss, sir? So, yeah, I had not really put a lot of thought into what I'm doing with the extra content and whatnot. I've been saying, oh yeah, I'll make extra content on the channel, but I kind of also been taking the attitude of, I'll cross the bridge when I get to it. If someone ever does decide to support my Patreon campaign, I'll deal with that issue when I get to it. And it's like, no one's ever going to do that. And now someone has, so now I kind of need to deal with that issue. I will probably get a video up. We'll try to do it for tomorrow. I mean, I have to do extra stuff on Tuesday for the podcast, so that's not a good day. Spiel is usually a little bit fairly involved and usually a relatively lengthy video, so it'd be difficult to get two good length videos out on a Wednesday. So I think Thursday is probably my best bet for Patreon-only content. I think that's likely to be a thing going forward. I will try and get a bonus longer form video, none of this 10-minute Necrodancer cop-out video luck. I'll try and get something sizable and noteworthy out on Thursdays. And if you too wish to be able to see this exclusive and limited edition content and indeed be able to direct what you get to see, you can go to patreon.com/buttonmash and pitch in alongside Alzarath, so that he's not the only one directing content on my channel. At any rate, yep. We shall. Also, he sent me a bunch of questions a couple weeks back, so I'm also going to give him first pick on that. Anybody who is a Patreon donor, I think, should probably have first say over, should be given priority on questions asked within this series. It seems fair. Yeah, they're paying the bills around here after all. So, again, appropriately enough, one question from Alzarath. Oh god, am I going to burn to death? Not quite, but it's going to hurt. Alzarath asks, what are your thoughts on YouTube tip jars, Patreon support, etc.? So, a rather appropriate question there. I like it. It means I get paid, because so far YouTube, after 2 years of work, and I have recently passed the 2-year anniversary of my channel, after 2 years, YouTube ain't paid me a single paycheck yet, so still waiting on that one. So yeah, I like a system which means I could actually potentially do something worthwhile and make some money out of my channel. I like the system because it allows smaller channels to get paid and actually, do this professionally without having to, grow to hundreds of thousands. It allows smaller, perhaps more niche content to get paid and make a living doing what they enjoy. It just makes the format more accessible to a lot of people. In a lot of fields, to be honest, Patreon allows a lot more people to make a living doing what they love without being beholden to, well, essentially, in most cases, usually ad revenue. It's mostly, for most uses of Patreon, it's an alternative to ad revenue. It applies to YouTube, it applies to webcomics, it applies to, indeed, writing, games, journalism. Those are, indeed, 3 of the, generally speaking, biggest uses I've seen for it. Usually YouTube producers, webcomics, and journalists are the 3 that I tend to see on Patreon. Of course, there are many more uses, but those are the 3 that pop up most frequently in my experience. So those are 3 business models that are usually supported by ad revenue, and ad revenue usually doesn't pay extremely well. So this allows people who want to see the content to support the content they want to see, and those people to get paid doing it. So I like it. I do like the idea of the YouTube tip jars when they get implemented as well, because the Patreon is cool, but I'm not sure many people want to buy into the subscription model. I will probably run the YouTube tip jar as well. I've seen a lot of channels have said, oh, I'll do Patreon or I'll do a tip jar. I won't do both. I kind of like having the option, to be honest. The Patreon allows people who want to provide ongoing support to a channel, whereas a tip jar is more of a one-off kind of thing. And even with the tip jars, it's still better than ad revenue, because if somebody wants to donate, say, even $1 to a channel, And, well, hey, that's not a lot of money. It's $1, and honestly, $1 is probably more than you personally will ever produce in revenue for that channel just by watching adverts on that channel. For one person to produce $1 worth of ad revenue from a channel, they would have to watch a heck of a lot of video, on the order of thousands of videos, I think, is the generally accepted notion, which is why you obviously want a lot of subscribers to be able to make much money out of ad revenue. But, you know, if one person contributes $1, they've already justified using ad block, to be quite honest, because you've already outpaid what the adverts would do. So I kind of like the alternative options of having both a subscription model and just being able to contribute as a one-off. And again, it's all optional, it's all opt-in, no one's forcing anybody to do anything. If you don't want to support a channel, fine, nobody's making you. Some people say, oh, it's kind of like begging. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm kind of okay with it, some people aren't. Some people feel that, you know, as a business, you shouldn't be trying to sustain yourself by essentially begging for donations on the internet. I suppose in many respects, yeah, okay, that's kind of true. But also, if it makes a business viable where it wasn't before, I like that that's a thing. Am I going the wrong way here? I am going the wrong way, yes. Let's head down. So I just like that it makes a lot more content production viable for a lot more people than it would otherwise have been. It's cool. It's the future. It's how things are being done these days. Big business is no longer big business. That's not true. We can only hope, though, that in the future all things will be small and local and wonderful and friendly and, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. But it would be nice to see less big business dominating fields and more friendly, user-supported stuff. I'm going to explode there. Nope, let's stand back. Also, from Elzerath, for he has first dibs on the questions. What is the most difficult game you've ever played? What made it difficult? Yeesh, that's a question. There's a lot of different approaches to difficulty in games, so it's kind of comparing apples to oranges in a lot of respects. There's obviously, you've kind of got the games which are by design just designed to be frustratingly difficult. You've got your rage games, as it were. You've kind of got, like, your Super Hexagon is kind of ragey. I was given a review copy of a game a while back called Hyphen, which I played a tiny bit of, and then I was like, you know what, no, I'm not doing this. All this game is doing is winding me up, and I'm not enjoying it, and that's the entire point of the game. It's designed to make you angry, and some people dig that, I guess. There does seem to be a market for rage games, as it were. I ain't doing that. I don't want a game to make me angry by just how frustratingly difficult it is. Basically, the Hyphen thing was, you had a tiny spinning little line that just never stopped spinning, and you had to navigate it through a bunch of tiny gaps as through a sort of maze-like course, and there were obstacles in the way, and if the line, whilst it was spinning, touched the sides at any time, that was it, instantly game over, go back to the start. And it's like, you know what, no. Not enjoying that, not digging it. I think I'm going the wrong way. I think I want to check down here for loot. The lesser routes, I think, are usually more looty, as it were. So grab that. Oh, jeez, I nearly screwed that one up. I nearly deleted my loot. What have we got around here? Oh, we've got a bunch of these things, I see. One's a bunch of animal cages. Alright, bring the animals. Oh god, Grievous. Oh god, Grievous. Oh god. I have the right weapon to deal with Griever, jeez. Get dealt with, jeez. Woo! Was not expecting Grievous. That kind of came out of left field. The problem with the animal cages is you get anything out of them. The monster boxes, whatever you call them. It can just be anything in the game it throws at you. So a bunch more over here. So yeah, difficulty, I mean, people often cite your older games as being sort of more difficult ones, and they had to be by their nature. They were limited in space on the disc, so... Ow, I'm dead. God damn it. They were limited in space on the disc, so they kind of had to give you a lot of replay value by making the game challenging and, you know, giving you a life system so you just didn't get unlimited attempts at things. So a lot of those older games are, again, more challenging than perhaps many of your modern titles, your Sonic the Hedgehogs and, you know, Mega Drive, SNES era type stuff. It's generally a bit more tricky to come... Oh look, life. Just what I needed right now at this moment in time after I just died. Damn it. Stupid game. Maybe we'll have some... I should have taken some pills, actually. Maybe there will be pills. There are no pills. Okay. And then you've kind of got your roguelikes and roguelites that are doing the rounds these days, and I play plenty of them. They've got their own kind of appeal. I mean, they are challenging, and they're designed to be challenging, and they've got, obviously, permadeath going on, which sort of, again, adds to a sort of artificial challenge. It's like, oh, well, you messed up once, sorry, do everything again. Which is kind of an artificial challenge in many ways. And then, what about different levels of difficulty? I mean, Unreal Tournament is a game that was perfectly doable, and I completed it on a few occasions on a few different difficulties, but then the top difficulty was Godlike, was the highest difficulty, and on that one, the AI would just kind of hit you with a sniper rifle from a million miles away when you couldn't even see them, and it was just like, this is just unfair difficulty. And then there's things like, I Want to Be the Guy, or indeed, I Want to Be the Guy Dan, which is even worse. I've not played them, but I've seen people play them, and they don't look like they're particularly fun to me. They are, again, they probably fall into the rage game kind of category, where it's just unfair difficulty just to make you angry. I don't know. There's kind of different approaches to difficulty, and some of them are reasonable, some of them aren't, some of them are very much artificial difficulty. If you want to talk about just literal difficulty, how hard is it? Probably something like Hyphen probably was it, I don't know. Just because that was just, within the first couple of levels, it was just horrifyingly frustrating. It's like, you know, I don't want to play this, it's too difficult, that's the point of the game, but I don't want to play it. I'm talking about, you know, at a nice level, something like, tell you what, Aladdin on the Mega Drive. Yeah, hits the sweet spot. It was doable, but not very doable. I never actually finished it. I made some good progress through it, but never actually finished the game until many years later, doing it with an emulator and save scumming my way through it. So that's just basically giving myself infinite lives through cheatiness. Whereas, you know, trying to play through it vanilla, it's the old school difficulty, it's kind of, you've got limited lives, a few continues, but not many. So yeah, that was pretty challenging. I think I want one of those this level. So this is this Gremlin-y? Oh, it is Gremlin-y, I suppose. So I kind of tend to think of these levels as being construct, but no, there'll be gremlins in here. Also, favourite game of all time? Alzarath asks. All time. That's you can't ask that. I've had a couple of games industry interviews that type things that always said, "Oh, what's your favourite game?" It's like, we're talking. Look, if you're a gamer, and you are, you can't ask what's your favourite game of all time. That's ridiculous. That's a ludicrous question. That's an unfair question to ask. There are too many. There are many excellent. I mean, I would have. I'm going to name like 5 excellent titles, I think, that are up there, and I can't pick between them. Banjo-Kazooie, Unreal Tournament, To the Moon, and quite recently I would have said Always Sometimes Monsters probably rates quite highly in my estimation as well. Somewhere between those 4. Banjo-Kazooie and Unreal Tournament are just classic favourites that I will. They're timeless. They still play excellently to this day. They still work great, and they're just immensely fun games to play. This is Unreal Tournament 99 we're talking, not any of the later ones. 2004 was a good one. I still prefer the original. Unreal Tournament 3 was... I enjoyed it. Still not as good as the original. Many people definitely didn't like it, but I didn't dislike it. It had some unique stuff going on. Unreal Tournament 99 will always be the classic for me, though. The excellent, the legendary one. To the Moon, I just like as a piece of storytelling. There's not a whole lot of gameplay in there. It's an RPG Maker title designed around narrative more than anything else, but what a narrative. It's definitely up there as one of my favourite stories within games. And to the same extent, Always Sometimes Monsters is... It's a very narrative-heavy piece. The way the game design works, the choices that the player can make, and how everything you do in the world, or very nearly everything you do in the world, has a very real impact on the world around you. And it's also excellently written. It's a fantastic piece of storytelling, and should absolutely be played by as many people as possible. I'll recommend it to the end of my days, that game. So those are some of the finest highlights in gaming ever. And there are many others that are excellent, but those are like my, well, I guess that's my top 4, I suppose. Outside of gaming, what is your greatest passion? I don't know, I'm kind of a one-trick pony, I don't do much that isn't gaming. I am very, very shallow. I suppose I do enjoy walking, hiking, mountain climbing type stuff, the outdoors from time to time. I don't go out and do anywhere near as much as I, to be honest, should, but I do quite enjoy going and doing that. I am fortunate enough to live in a small town that's quite close to a bunch of rural areas, so I kind of... I'm within walking distance of some nice woodlands and moorlands and some cool areas that are good to go exploring. And I am an explorer. I like going off the beaten path. As evidenced, to link it back to gaming, in WildStar. WildStar's got the great thing, this great thing where it's you have, in addition to your class, you've got also a path, which lets you be a scientist, a soldier, an explorer, or a settler, which lets you do different things depending on what you picked. I'm an explorer, which predominantly focuses around climbing on things and finding really cool stuff in the scenery, and it gives you a bunch of extra things, like you can jump from really high places and it just gives you a safe fall, so you can land safely after leaping off the top of a cliff or something, which is really awesome. It lets you get to stuff that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get to as any other path, which is awesome. So I just like climbing on stuff, and I'm less than halfway through the game, I think, leveling curve-wise. I'm about level 28, and if you know anything about MMO leveling, level 40 is about halfway, probably, I would imagine, just by sheer leveling curve. So I'm probably less than halfway. I've already broken the game twice insofar as I've escaped where you're supposed to be allowed to go. They put giant cliffs around the edge of everything, and on at least 2 occasions so far, I've kind of accidentally managed to climb up the cliff. I'm just like, ooh, what's up here? I wonder if there's anything exciting up here. There might be some stuff to find, there might be some new enemies, there might be a new area, and it's like, oh, this is looking kind of empty. There's no resources to gather, there are no enemies, there's no terrain, it's kind of bland. Oh, I'm not supposed to be here, am I? Whoopsie, I've climbed out of the level, just by my inquisitive nature. And I do like doing that in real life. I mean, I don't go anywhere exotic enough to really justify it. I should go on like a jungle expedition or something to do that sort of thing well, but when I'm in a forest and I'm like, what's over there? I mean, we've got the one main path running through the woods and whatnot, but hey, what if I go for a wander over here? I do tend to sort of wander off and find interesting things, and I like doing that. I like exploration. Exploration is fun. Also beer, I'm quite passionate about good beer, so I am a member of CAMRA, which is the Campaign for Real Ale, and I do like drinking nice beers and things. Was at a beer festival, a local beer festival on Saturday, which was rather nice. Had a lot of rather pleasant ones there, local brewery. Got a bunch of new stuff out, they were cool. Well, I don't know if they were that new, but I hadn't tried them before, so they were rather nice. That was a good experience. I do like beer festivals. I mean, good excuse to go get drunk, but at the same time you get to try a lot of cool stuff. I will say, the one thing I've tried on a couple of occasions at beer festivals though and been stung by is any beer that describes itself as smoky. Stay away from smoky beers. It's like bacon beer, and beer is the one thing that is not improved by bacon, by the way. People say, oh, bacon makes everything awesome. No, it doesn't. You ain't tried it in beer if you think bacon makes everything awesome. No, that just doesn't work. I mean, it's not intentionally a bacon flavour, they're just going for a smoky flavour, but, you know, smoky just makes it bacon, and bacon beer, no, that's just tragic, is what that is. Good lord. I believe Core Guardian also asked a very similar question to this, so I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone by answering that question. So, Core Guardian also asked, let me find it specifically so I can read it properly. See if I can find it. No? Have I got it written down? I probably don't have it written down. Anyway, he's got his shout out. There we go. I shouted out Core Guardian, who asked, what are my interests outside of gaming, I think is what it was. So, yep, killed 2 birds with 1 stone. How are we doing for time and levels? We've got 1 more compound to do, and we've got time for a little bit more, I suppose. I have a question from Sky Scythe from his giant list of stuff. Let's take a purple. Who asks, it's a long one, ish. The Archaeopteryx, including a pronunciation after it. Thank you very much, as if I didn't know how to pronounce a dinosaur. He says, indeed, I think that pronunciation's wrong. He's put Archaeopteryx. It's Archaeopteryx. Thank you very much. The Archaeopteryx was a sort of reptilian avian some 150 million years ago that had a large bony tail and wasn't a very adept flyer compared to modern-day avians. If you had to guess what species the Archaeopteryx is closest to in modern-day times, what would its stroke they be and why? It's kind of an interesting one, because the Archaeopteryx is, as you say, it's very much a relative of the dinosaurs at the time, but 150 million years ago, we're talking that's late Jurassic period, which is getting on towards the end of the dinosaurs. It's very late in the dinosaurs sort of time frame. I mean, obviously, dinosaurs were around for probably better part of another 100 million years ago, but when we're talking these kind of timescales, when we're talking sort of dinosaur timescales, that's quite a goddamn long time. That's not well, the whole dinosaur time frame was a goddamn long time, but 100 million was a flash in the pan compared to the dinosaurs, so they are relatively late dinosaur era kind of things, and it's at that time, I guess there weren't particularly many birds around, and I think generally speaking the Archaeopteryx tends to be considered like a transitional species between two things. So when people talk about like the missing link in archaeology, though the gap between humans and apes, well, there isn't one particular species. I think there's like 10 Archaeopteryx fossils found in the world, so we haven't got a lot to go on. Perhaps more than Altospinax, which we talked about in recent weeks. More to go on than that, but at the same time, a lot of people say, oh, are they the same species? They're slightly different, so maybe they're not. But with evolution, again, like I say, with your missing links and whatnot, it's kind of a continuum. Evolution goes on all the time. There are minor changes all the time. And when we're talking about processes that literally are over the course of millions of years, we're talking about a species for which we have 10 records of over the course of millions of years. Of course they're going to be a bit different. Evolution will have happened. Regional changes, regional variations. Doesn't necessarily mean they're different species. And, hey, what does species mean anyway? It's very much a human distinction. It's something we have decided to label things. As I say, it's an ongoing process. There are regional variations, minor variations over the eons, the ages. Ice ages come and go, things adapt, climate change happens, and species have to grow and change and adapt, and that is how evolution works, generally speaking, or it's one of the major factors in evolution. And as I say, it's a slow process, it's a continuum, gradual change, and later humans have just come past and said, hey, we'll call that one this thing, we'll call this one this thing, we'll call this one this thing, and there we go. These are all classified, but what about the one that's halfway in between the two things? What about the whatever is halfway between humans and apes? What do we call that? Oh, what about the one that's halfway in between that? What about the one that's halfway in between that? And as I say, it's a continuum. At some point you have to draw a line if you're going to classify them. You can't, otherwise every single individual organism could essentially be considered to be its own discrete thing. At some point you have to say, no, enough is enough. This thing is definitely one of these things. It could be later on in the species evolution, or it could be earlier on, but at some point you draw a line. And the Archaeopteryx is generally considered to be a transitional period between dinosaurs and birds. You will likely have heard the statement that, well, birds are the closest living ancestor we have to dinosaurs in the modern day. If you look at the skeletal structure of modern day birds, they are the closest thing of any species on the planet at the moment to the ancient dinosaurs. So, kind of at some point you need to say, well, where's the transition? What happened? At what point did we stop having dinosaurs and start having birds? And the Archaeopteryx is, I think, generally considered to be probably part of that point. Oh dear, they're all going all over the place. Let's just go through there. That'll do it. And again, there probably are more transitional stuff. There should at some point be something presumably between Archaeopteryx and birds. But if one considers that to be a transition species between dinosaurs and birds, then the Archaeopteryx is probably the ancestor of most, if not all, birds today. Just by nature of what it is. How do I can't get to those ones in the middle, can I? I was thinking there would be something that would lead me over there, but in the absence of a gun, I literally can't kill those gun puppies. Huh. Crazy. Well, you get to live today, little flame puppies. So yes, I don't think you can say, oh, the Archaeopteryx is the ancestor of this one species, because honestly, I think it's, in all likelihood, it is the ancestor of most, if not all, birds, quite probably. It's kind of your Adam and Eve job. At some point, something had to start somewhere, and it seems likely the Archaeopteryx is it. The problem with birds and bird fossils and whatnot is that they do tend to have a much lighter, less dense bone structure than everything else, and I think they are not well accustomed to being fossilized, which is why we lack a lot of records in that kind of area. We can't. It's very difficult to find records of birds. How do I? Okay, how I get? That's going to pop back on, isn't it? Huh. Can I? I don't get much time on this. I want loot, but at the same time, I wonder if my pet can reach that. Can you reach that? No, you cannot. You are worthless as a pet. Okay, that's going to start flashing, but it gives me a few seconds. Yep, okay, we're good, we're good. Glad it gives you just enough time to do that. That's okay. Oh, hey, it spawned mobs as well. Hello, mobs. Wasn't expecting you. Gremlin, come back. Ow. Well, I need that pill now. Lol. Let's go grab that pill. I think we're nearing the end, though. I probably don't need it too much. Shall I wrap this up shortly? Oh, wait, I need another jar. Of course I need another jar. To open that. And then there's a thing there. Oh, god damn it. Is that thing important? It might be. I suppose I can hit... God damn it. God damn it, damn it, damn it. I suppose I could have used vials for all of this. Yes, there is a switch there. God damn it. I'm going to use a vial because I can't be asked to go in to get the jar. Which was a sleep vial. I never use the damn things anyway, so it's probably no big deal. So that's kind of wrapped up all the questions I had plans for this week. As I say, I will once again say, go watch that bloody Strangelands video because it is magnificent and hilarious, and you should totally check it out. Again, with the Patreon, I shall be beginning to make extra content this week. If you want to see extra videos from me, one extra relatively long form, probably 20 to 30 minute video. I suppose I shall offer this up to Alzarath as an option, because he has, I suppose, some say in this, or indeed quite a lot of say. I was contemplating doing the Monkey Island series as my Patreon series. Mainly because, honestly, in spite of my Monkey Island and various piratey themes going on my channel, I haven't actually played a whole heck of a lot of the series. I played the first one, I played... probably about, I don't know, third half of the second one, not loads of the second one. I have not played the third or fourth ones, or indeed Tales of Monkey Island, so there's a lot of material there that I haven't actually played, that I really should play, that I would like to play at some stage. So if that's a thing that, at the same time, it's also a point-and-click adventure game, which maybe doesn't necessarily lend itself to be the best format for a video series, so I don't know. Thoughts, answers on a postcard, or in the comments, you know, the usual drill. So I shall try that out and see how that goes. I will probably play through the series in order. I mean, I've played the first one before, but that was a little while ago. See how much I can remember. Okay, I'm going to die if I don't eat a pill. Eat a pill. And then, I don't know, like I say, a lot of material there that would keep me going for a while. And it's Monkey Island. Monkey Island's awesome. And I'm dead. Woo! Dead. Did I bring a pointy stick with me on this level? I didn't, did I? I brought voltage. God damn it. Should have brought a pointy stick. Pointy sticks are awesome. This could be a level in which I wind up I'm just going to take this key and go, I think. I could wind up dead here, though. So yeah, if you want to see those videos, you will have to support me on Patreon, though. So a mere $1 a month will gain you access to bonus content, and it would support me and allow me to make more stuff. Oh my god, how many things just ate my face in one go? Pills, give me pills. Yeah, I told you I was going to wind up dead. So many bunnies. The bunnies are nasty. Get back, the lot of you. And there's a gremlin in there as well. Oh, I can go through here. Ha. Cool. Ouch. Seriously, you suck. You all suck. And you suck too. No. Get back. Give me the hearts. I goddamn need them. Right. I have one key. I'm halfway to opening the door. I wanna do this. I'm so close to finishing. Let me have my freedom. Damn you. Oh, give me a shield. Yep, shield nice. Shield good. Uh-oh. Ow! I didn't even pick that up. Okay, we've got a lumber blocking my path. Hi, lumber. Oh, no. Give me a key. Okay, I'm gonna have to run away. Just because otherwise I'm gonna die. Let's just take out what we can. Ow. This may end in tragedy. Look, you're all cursed. Get cursed. Oh. Just takes one of them to bite my face and this is all over. Oh, there's a heart. One heart. Good. Need. Want. Stupid bunnies. Hate bunnies. No. My shield is nearly gone. You guys are cursed. How come you have not died yet? What the hell? That's not even fair. You're supposed to die when you're cursed. Right, let's get on out of here. I'm free. Freedom is here. Freedom! Sweet, glorious freedom. Thank God for that. So yeah, that'll do it for the week. As I say, don't forget to check out all the things I've already told you to check out, because I've told you multiple times to check out. Can we head on down? Did I even get... I didn't get a... Oh yeah, it doesn't tell you to go on before you go to Clockwork, it just takes you to Clockwork's terminal, doesn't it? I know this game, I've played it before. That's good. Yes, hopefully we'll see a Gunner update today, maybe? Maybe. And then, hopefully, there will be another series tomorrow for you to check out if you support me on Patreon, and you should totally go and do that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I have been Meroka, this has been Spiel. I have belabored the point far, far too long. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.